Happy Monday, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Okay, this is called the root of all disease. Who would have figured, right? Who would have figured that the root of all disease is actually the organ that we have been taught to disrespect and dishonor the most? Now, do you know what organ that is? I think you should know. It's right here, okay? It's your large intestine, okay? So we have been taught to disrespect the large intestine. We have been taught that the large intestine is nothing but a sewer dump. It is nothing but a garbage can. Now, for some people, they go, well, that's not true. I've been taught that. I know that it's where 85% of my immune system is. I know that I'm made out of 500 trillion bacteria and made only out of 50 trillion cells. I know that bacteria are the most intelligent thing in the human body. Well, if that's true, then why are we continually out there attacking them? Why has the medical system made bacteria the enemy? Why have they done that? Understand something. You got to get this, whether you like it or not. You are a walking, talking glob of bacteria. You're more bacteria than you are anything else. And if you want to kill your bacteria, then you just go ahead and kill yourself, because that's what you're doing. And understand something. When you take an antibiotic, okay, yeah, I'm sure it's in there annihilating lots of stuff, as we know, but it's also, mutating the good bacteria into bad bacteria. And we know when they become bad, your moods become bad and your health becomes bad, because bacteria make up 85% of your immune system. And actually, the whole body is kind of an immune system. I'm not even sure if we could even call it immune system or not. But the reality is the bacteria are the good guys, and you only have bacteria, bad bacteria, when you have an environment that creates bad bacteria. So if I disrespect my partner, my wife, my children, okay, are we going to have a relationship problem? Yes. Well, do we disrespect our bacteria without even knowing it? Absolutely. You've been programmed to not just mutate your bacteria, but to go in and just kill them, annihilate them. That's right. Set off the atomic bomb. And the reality is guess what? There's nothing more important than the front door, and there's nothing more important than the back door. And between the front door and the back door, you've got 30 feet of intestine. 30 feet of intestine. Think about that. And in this intestine, you've got what you call tight junctions, only one cell thick. And when you create infection, you create inflammation. When you create inflammation, those junctions come apart, and then we call that leaky gut. Then you've got like a screen door in your intestine so that you can absorb and get trapped protein particles. You can have microbes and worms and fungus and bad bacteria all get into your bloodstream, because understand something. How could you ever be sick anywhere physically if you weren't absorbing your own waste, your own excrement? Yes, you got it. And that's the biggest thing. So people said, oh, I've got leaky gut. Well, understand, everybody's got a leaky gut to a degree on this planet, because you can't terrorize yourself on an emotional, psychological point of view without terrorizing yourself on a physical point of view. And whether you like this or not, 80 to 90% of all your emotions go into your core, which is your abdomen, right? That's your core. And most people, their core is on the floor. It's either sticking out because they're so full of gas because they're rotting inside, or it's hanging down over their belt because your intestines are falling out and down like your immune system. Yeah. It's funny, 85% of all your energy is created in your core, and it's held in your core. So all you got to do is look at what shape the core is in, and you know how much energy somebody has. So you might go, oh my God, you are not a very nice guy, Dr. Wolfe. I wouldn't hire someone if they were a male or a female and they weren't pregnant and they looked like they were 6 months pregnant, because there's no way that they can have clear thought. It's proven that the more toxic you are, okay, the more brain dysfunction you have. It's proven that the more fat cells you have, the more inflammation you have, the more toxins you have, because we're not overweight we're over waste. We got too much waste inside of us, too much toxic waste, and that's what fat cells are for. That's what scar tissue is for. That's why everybody's so stiff today and so inflamed, because scar tissue holds heavy metals and toxins and chemicals, and so does fat cells. And guess what? Out of all the scar tissues, we know that fibroids and tumors hold the worst of heavy metals and acidity in the human body. Because what is a tumor but a storage shed? What is a pimple but a storage shed? What is a boil but a storage shed? Because we don't understand what we're doing to ourselves. We don't know that we're in a coma when it comes to our own health. We've been taught that somebody out there is going to save us, or they're going to come and they're going to do something for us. Look at it. Medical health couldn't do without it, but I can do without it. The only time I need it is if I'm in an emergency, but I'm never in an emergency. I haven't been to the hospital for anything, okay, all right, for probably 20 years, 25 years. No car accidents, no sports injuries. And if I did have an injury, I look after myself because I know how. Wouldn't it be great to know how to look after yourself and not become a 911 emergency? We're always in conflict lately. We're always in trauma, and we're always in shock because we can't tell the difference between logical and not logical. We can't tell the difference between truth and untruth because we don't have a manual which to go by. And this, I'm just going to make this short and sweet. Go to my library and look at the Perfect Day Guide. And if you can read it, read it. Or at least just go to the 4 pillars of the perfect day in my library, because guess what? Until you take massive personal action, you're going to be sold off by the pound. And you're going to fill up by the pound with fecal waste inside of you because you don't understand that the large intestine is the holy grail. So here, this is what we call a normal large intestine. And for those of you who don't understand, there's your anus, rectum, okay? This is your sigmoid, okay? Over here is called your cecum. If you take a look right here, okay, this is where the small intestine, which is 22 feet, connects into the large intestine, the cecum. When the waste comes in here, that triggers this, and then it kind of contracts like a snake and moves the waste all around here and then out. But it's not waste. It's where you have a compost. And guess what? Why do we have a compost for the garden? So we can create all these friendly microorganisms so that we can have the most beautiful soil, so we can eat the most beautiful food. Why do we want to know what to eat, what to take in, liquid and solids here? Because that becomes compost down in your large intestine, where then you're going to create either healthy or unhealthy bacteria. And understand, good bacteria, good moods, unhealthy bacteria, bad moods. And that's what we call the gut-brain disconnection. And understand something, you know, when children get the V, you know what I'm talking about, okay? And then there's a lot of autism in the world, okay? Understand something. They have gut-brain disconnection. And understand this. Everybody that has a mental issue needs to look into the root organ. The organ that controls everything is the large intestine. They call it the second brain. I'm going to call it the first brain, because that is where most of the communication and messages go to tell the brain what to do. You got what I just said. Because I believe that the brain is mainly just a storage shed of beliefs, and a lot of people's beliefs really stink, don't they? Yeah, really. If we don't know that we need to go in there just like a garden and root out those beliefs, guess what? We're going to have ourselves in trouble forever, okay? So we got to root out those beliefs. Okay, so gut-brain disconnection or gut-brain connection. Understand this, that in your pelvis and in your large intestine comes most of the information that goes into your spine at your coccyx, into the spinal fluid, to tell your brain what chemicals and hormones to distribute throughout the body to help to heal you, to help to give you a beautiful day. But what if the bacteria in your large intestine have gone bad, gone rogue? Then guess what? You're going to have one heck of a bumpy ride. All right? So this is what we would call a normal large intestine. You're only going to see this here. Because I'll tell you something. If you could take a look at most people's large intestine, because every time that you feel cramping, every time you feel spasm, every time that you have gas, okay, every time that you feel nauseous, okay, every time that you have, ready for this, low back pain, every time that you have heart pain or pressure on your lungs, every time that you have heartburn, every time that you talk about a bladder infection, every time that if you've got a cyst on your ovaries, if you've got scar tissue in your fallopian tubes, if you've got endometriosis, which is scar tissue throughout your pelvis from the infection you're absorbing from your large intestine, because your pelvis is like a soup bowl filling up with microscopic poop particles. Yes. And you'll fill that bowl up. Yeah, did you know that if you didn't hurt your hip through a car accident or through a sports injury and you start having pain in your hip, it's actually coming from your large intestine? You didn't know that, did you? Yeah, and that's the truth. They're not telling you that. Did you know that your low back and all the pain in your kidneys is coming from your large intestine? 85% or more, okay? Did you know that, okay, even a sore throat is coming from your large intestine? Did you know that eczema, psoriasis are coming from your large intestine? Did you know that I believe, and I will show you beyond a shadow of a doubt, because we are going to take 3 days to do this. I'm just going to set you up for tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to come back on here, okay? And we're going to do this, and this will be 3 parts because this is a lot of information. So we're going to be talking about things like fissures, fistula, hemorrhoids, cysts, bladder infection, fibroids, cesareans, hysterectomies, prostate cancer, prostate inflammation, bladder infection. We're going to be talking about colitis, diverticulitis, stricture, spasm, balloon sigmoid, prolapses, okay? We're going to be talking about it all. This is where you need to understand something, okay? All of the organs got together and they all said that they're in control. And then guess what? The colon says, I guess I'll just shut up. And you know the rest of the story, don't you? And understand something. Isn't it the funniest thing that if you go and you take a look out there, even in natural health or in medical health, okay, the large intestine is always taking the back seat. And the only time that you think about the large intestine is when you feel like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, when you feel like crap. Okay, and that's because you're full of it, okay? You're full of the toxic waste, because it's, understand something. It's the stagnation, okay? The stagnation that causes what? The putrefaction. The putrefaction absorbs into your body, and that causes the infection throughout your body. That backs up your liver. That backs up your kidneys, okay? And what about your lymph system? So understand something. If you are dealing with any type of chronic illness here today, I don't care what it is. Even if you're bedridden, if you don't want to get the cork out, okay, and get that beautiful flow in your digestive tract called the highway to life, okay, all right, because that's what it is. And if you don't want to start draining your liver, this is what I'm going to be going through here as we go through the large intestine, and I'll be talking about the domino effect, and it creates every illness, or it definitely will enhance every illness that you have. So everything is about a physical block. But understand something. Before you had a physical block throughout anywhere else in your body, you were already blocked up in your bowel. But you're going to say that's not true. And I'm telling you it is true. I'm telling you it is true that you don't know how to poo. I'm telling you that if you have one bowel movement a day, you think you're rocking and rolling. I'm telling you that you could. I have people that come to me right now that have colon cancer because it's on the rise like crazy, just like prostate problems, okay? Just like every other problem in the pelvis, because the pelvis is on fire. Okay, that even I have cancer patients that are going to the bathroom 3 times a day and they have bowel cancer. Go figure, okay? And then understand something. You wouldn't have a problem anywhere in your abdominal area and in your pelvic area if you take control of the large intestine, the colon, call it what you will. It's only 5 to 7 feet long, but is the most important part of your body. And we're going to discuss this in part 2 tomorrow. So you'll see it, and then I'm going to help you believe it, that what you eat matters, what you drink matters, what you think matters. And guess what? What you think, if it's stinking thinking, you know what you say? Oh my God, I feel like my intestines are all tied up in knots, okay? All right, I feel like I got a fist in my stomach, somebody punched me. Oh my gosh, I've got cramps all the time. Okay? And understand, it's not just a physical issue, it's a psychological issue. So let's keep learning. Let me come and train you, because that's all I want to do. I want to train you how to retrain your brain. I want to train you how to make better choices throughout the day. I want to show you that the greatest practitioner that ever existed is in the mirror. Have a beautiful Monday, and we'll see you. You are the power you seek. How would it feel to you? Better still, how would it change your life to be certified in the most powerful training in regards to the emotional and physical body? Whether you're coming to us to enhance your clinic, or for personal growth, or finally, to live your passion and purpose as a natural health practitioner, you are only limited by your beliefs, but that ends today. We will be holding this New World Practitioner certification in the amazing Casa del Agua facility 15 minutes from Playa del Carmen in the beautiful Mayan Riviera of Mexico. Can't wait to see your smiling face.
Sage is by far the best teacher I have ever touched base with. I've done a lot of courses out there, a lot of programs, a lot of emotional work, mystery skills, but this really touches, it kind of bridges the emotion and the physical component together.
He's fun and he's thorough, and he doesn't, he's making sure that you know the techniques. And so when we walk away from this particular course, and we walk away, we feel confident, and he has given us that confidence.
I took my Touch for Health training in probably about 20 years ago. I also incorporate that into my practice, but it doesn't deal with the crystallization, inflammation, and calcification. So that's why I said that this is kind of the missing puzzle piece that I needed to help people get to their optimal health.
That's the moment where you leave and you become a complete professional in what you do and in your business. You leave with the ability to be a total professional at what you do.
You can deal with the emotions and let that go. Two, I can deal with the physical. But what we're doing with this non-surgical is you're combining the emotion and physical together.
And this is the component that now I can help others. And now I'm here, and I am trained, and I am certified, and I can take this, and I can help you.
Something about this spoke to me so true. The mind-body connection and being energy beings. It's profound, and I want to share it with others so that they can have the tools to feel this love and heal themselves.
And you as a practitioner or a doctor will be that guide to help see them transform and help support them through their conflict resolution, I call it, or making peace with things that have been unresolved.
Give me a call. This is your time to shine. Just remember, all questions matter because your life matters. You matter. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.